Today our discussion will be on a part of electrochemistry chapter, galvanic cell and calculation of EMF. At first you have to know what about the meaning of chemical cell and electrolytic cell. Here this galvanic cell is an example of chemical cell. The meaning of chemical cell is an arrangement which converts chemical energy into electrical energy. On the other hand, remember, electrolytic cell means the cell where electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. For example, the cell where electrolysis of say water or any other electrolyte is done, that is called electrolytic cell. That is called electrolytic cell. Okay, example of galvanic cell is, for example, chemical cell. Galvanic cell is an example of chemical cell. Now, very interesting point is, look, when a zinc foil fitted with a zinc wire is immersed in zinc ion solution. Zinc ion solution means, suppose there is zinc chloride or zinc sulfate. In that zinc ions containing solution, zinc foil is immersed. On the other hand, in another compartment, copper foil is immersed in copper ion solution. Say it may be copper chloride, it may be copper sulfate. Any water soluble salt of copper is to be used. Now, externally, if we join them, at that time what will happen? A cell will be developed apparently. What is the meaning? Why I am using the term apparently? Shortly it will be clear to you. Look, in this case, this zinc ion solution means over here a potential will be developed. Similarly, in case of copper ion solution, a potential will be developed. Why it will be developed? Because all of you have the preliminary idea that zinc is more electropositive with respect to copper, or zinc is more electropositive than copper. That's why some potential will be developed, and after that electrons will flow. Electrons will flow because I told you the answer, zinc is more electropositive than that of copper. Now in this case what is happening? Look, here that at the zinc electrode means from the zinc foil, zinc atom by losing 2 electrons will come into the solution by forming zinc ion. Means from here zinc foil, zinc atom by losing 2 electrons, that zinc atom is coming into the solution. So what is happening? Electron will flow like this through this zinc wire, and here there is an arrangement of key, and there is this arrow indicates that this is potentiometer. Potentiometer means an instrument which is used for the measurement of EMF, electromotive force, is determined with the help of a sophisticated instrument, potentiometer. Now those electrons are coming through this wire and finally it is coming to the copper plate immersed in copper ion solution. So over there copper ion by gaining 2 electrons it will form copper. So look at, two very interesting processes are going on here. Loss of electron occurs in case of zinc foil, that's why this process will be called oxidation, and in this case copper ion is gaining electron to form copper, that's why this process will be called reduction. And accordingly the plate where or the foil where oxidation occurs, that is called the anode. So in this case this is the reaction at the anode. The reaction at the anode is this, and this is the reaction at the cathode. So Very simple to remember. At the anode, oxidation is going on, and at the cathode, reduction is going on. Very simple to remember. Vowel at the vowel and consonant at the consonant. Means oxidation O, that is happening at the anode A, reduction R that is occurring at the cathode C. Consonant at the consonant, vowel at the vowel. Anyway, net reaction will be zinc plus copper ion. Ultimately this will form zinc ion plus copper. In this way, apparently it seems to you that here the electrons lost by zinc will flow through this potentiometer and it will come to this copper compartment, copper coil, where ultimately copper ion, by gaining those two electrons, will be discharged to form copper atom. But means you can say this is the direction in which there is a flow of electron occurs, and by the convention of physics you know that flow of current will be in the opposite direction. That's why this is the direction in which electrons will flow, this is the direction in which current will flow. But remember, very interesting point is, in this case practically there will be no flow of electron. Why? Very simple answer is, the circuit is not complete. You know, in the chapter electricity, you know, always if the circuit is not complete, then there will be no net flow of electron, hence no net flow of current. Now to complete the circuit, here you have to use one salt bridge. The meaning of salt bridge is it contains mixture of two substances, that is KCl and agar-agar. Agar-agar means KCl and agar-agar. You know, KCl is like sodium chloride. It's a crystalline, highly water soluble substance. So if this tube is filled up, somehow if you fill up it by KCl, when that KCl comes in contact with that water, obviously that KCl will dissolve. Over here that KCl will dissolve, and ultimately that this tube will be totally detached from the solution. Means that KCl will be detached from the solution. No use. That's why you have to make the arrangement in such a way so that KCl remains attached in agar. Agar is actually a semi-solid substance like halwa. So that KCl remains attached, or it sticks to the agar substance, and ultimately it remains over there. Look, the point is, when zinc atom is coming into the solution by losing two electrons, zinc ion is formed. Obviously this whole compartment or whole part will be positively charged. To neutralize that positive charge, two chloride ions will come into the solution, so that zinc chloride will be formed. Over here, whenever that copper ion is discharged, suppose the anion was sulfate SO4 2-, immediately two potassium ions will come into the solution. So as a result, the solution, both the solution compartment will remain electrically neutral. So in the arrangement there should be zinc ion, copper ion, and at the same time there should be a U tube that contains that is also called salt bridge, that contains KCl and agar-agar, or sometimes you may take potassium nitrate also, no problem. In the arrangement, remember, there will be A at first, then C, and in between there will be B. Means always that arrangement, by convention, always that arrangement should be A, B, C. Means anode, salt bridge, and then C. Anode, salt bridge, and then C. Now the question is, this is the net cell reaction. This is the net cell reaction. What about the EMF of this cell? According to Nernst's equation, suppose when a metal changes to metal ion having valency N plus by losing N electrons, then its EMF will be E naught minus RT divided by NF log base E, concentration of product divided by concentration of reactant. Now in this case that loss of electron occurs, that's why we can say this is oxidation, and accordingly that potential developed will be called E-ox, means oxidation potential of which compartment, which part? M, when it changes to Mn plus will be equal to E0, again oxidation potential of Mn plus minus RT divided by NF. R is the universal gas constant, T is the absolute temperature, N number of electrons lost or gained. In this case the number of electrons lost or gained is 2, and H is the Faraday. And concentration of product by concentration of reactant, in this case it is true that here since the metal, this is metal, obviously it is a solid and obviously its concentration is to be taken as 1. Using that Nernst equation for this net cell reaction, we can write that E, look, separately I am writing the Nernst equation for the anode and for the cathode part, or anode half cell and cathode half cell. Remember this is complete cell and half of this cell is called this is one half cell, this is another half cell. So E of Zn plus plus will be, obviously oxidation is going on in the anode compartment, so I am writing E ox of Zn plus plus will be E0 ox of Zn plus plus minus RT divided by 2F log base E, concentration of the product by concentration of reactant. So in this case there will be only Zn plus plus. Similarly E of Cu plus plus, Cu, look the process going on is reduction, so it will be E red of copper plus plus copper will be E0 red of copper plus plus copper minus RT divided by 2F log base E, concentration of product by reactant, since it is copper solid, so that's why it will be 1 divided by copper plus plus. Keep in mind that always try to remember E cell will be, means net EMF of the cell will be E ox of anode plus E red of cathode. Very easy way to remember oxidation at the anode and reduction at the cathode. I told you earlier that vowel at the vowel, consonant at the consonant. Try to remember in this way that net EMF of the cell will be oxidation, the sum of oxidation potential of the anode and reduction potential of the cathode. Similarly, if it is E0 cell, what is E0 cell? This is called the standard EMF of the cell, will be as usual E0 ox of anode plus E0 red of cathode. So this is suppose equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. On adding equation number 1 and 2, ultimately you are getting that expression. Look at, on adding equation number 1 and 2, ultimately we are getting, therefore E cell will be E0 ox of Zn plus 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 E0 red of copper plus plus copper. Remember here the meaning is zinc is changing into zinc ion, and it is here it is copper ion is changing to copper, minus RT divided by 2F. Whenever that log base of log is changing from E to log 10, so it should be multiplied by 2.303 log base 10 zinc ion concentration divided by copper ion concentration. And I told you earlier that this part is what? E0 cell minus 0. Minus R will be 8.314 into temperature. Suppose 298 Kelvin means 25 degrees centigrade is the temperature, divided by 2 into 96500, that is the value of F, into 2.303 into log base 10 zinc ion concentration divided by copper ion concentration. So it becomes E cell will be E0 cell minus 0.0591 divided by 2 log base 10 zinc ion concentration divided by copper ion concentration. With the help of this expression, you can find out the EMF of the cell if zinc ion concentration and copper ion concentration is known to you. Suppose, say over here you have taken zinc ion concentration, that is 1 molar, you have taken 1 molar zinc sulfate and here 1 molar copper sulfate. Both will be 1, log 1 will be 0, at that time E cell will be E0 cell. Again, when the reaction is at equilibrium, means suppose, look, I told you that here the net cell reaction is Zn plus Cu plus plus giving Zn plus 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 Cu. Suppose for this reaction you have to find out the equilibrium constant. If the question is what about the equilibrium value of equilibrium constant of this reaction? Very simple. When the reaction is at equilibrium, obviously at that time there will be no net flow of electron, and if there is no net flow of electron, at that time this E cell will be 0. Obviously E cell is 0 means at that time you can write, at that time E0 cell will be equal to 0.0591 divided by 2 log base 10 concentration of zinc ion divided by concentration of copper ion. With the help of this expression you can find out that the equilibrium constant means, actually you know this part, concentration of zinc ion by concentration of copper ion. Instead of that, simply you can write this will be K equilibrium. So in this way equilibrium constant can be calculated with the help of this expression. Keep in mind E0 cell will be E0 ox of Zn plus 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 E0 rate of copper plus plus copper.